Welcome back to the wondrous world of the Captain's Quadrant, where myself and my two good buds are going to be talking all about Star Trek. This is the realm in the quadrant of space, the Captain's Quadrant, where we talk about Star Trek, and we're going to be talking with Zero of Zero, another new name for our friend Jason, and Risa Bound Jason. I didn't get the memo. I don't know if you guys catch this, but if you're watching on YouTube, these gentlemen are in some extremely fine threads, or I'm in an old black tee with the good old logo on it.
The youngsters call it mad drip.
Yes. My good buddies here have mad drip. Well, I did get a haircut though, so at least we're getting in the hair frame,
Very
if
nice,
not in the shirts. So we're here to talk about a wonderful Star Trek Prodigy. Let us jump into First Contact.
Already? Yay.
Thanks.
Hello, our good friend KB Prestige Media. How you doing? So what did you guys think?
That bumper would get old after a while, but
No, it's still
it does
Never.
not. It
Oh.
is just it is as funny as the first day I watched it.
What do you guys think? What were your thoughts on the episode?
You go, Jace.
Okay, I will go then. It was enjoyable. Out of the two so far, I do think it leaned a little bit towards the weaker side slightly, mostly because of the Borg stuff, which don't get me wrong, I actually thought they did a really decent job of making the Borg scary and mysterious, and I really liked the diversity that was brought to the collective with all of the different sizes of aliens that were assimilated this time. But let's be honest, they were defanged. They were defanged more than Voyager defanged them. This was probably the weakest we've seen the collective in a very long time. And while I understand that they were under the effects of Janeway's biological neural virus technobabble thingy-majig that happened in the finale of Voyager, which I thought was a really nice.
Oh, that's what it was? I was like,
that's what it was. It was Captain Janeway did it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And I know it's a kids show, Prestige Multimedia Group. I know it's a kids show. However,
but like Jason,
one little throwaway line like, "Oh, you know, their assimilation tubules aren't working." That would have been fine. I don't know.
Risa Bound.
I don't think I could add any more than what Jason said. That little mini rant, he absolutely describes what I thought of the episode. Slightly.
It was a little salty aside. That's all it was.
Yeah. Look, it did feel flat. It felt kind of very flat. I didn't really, for me, it wasn't the most exciting one, I'd say. I don't know what I got too fixated on the idea of the concept of the weapon. I don't know what I actually philosophically think about the weapon itself, whether it's a good storytelling device, whether it is a really big threat to the... Do you think it's a giant threat to the Federation?
The nanobots?
The weapon?
The weapon itself.
I think so.
Does it feel like the stakes are high?
Yes.
I don't. Like, that's my problem with it. I'm like, is that kind of what it is?
I respectfully disagree. I think that the stakes are high. I think it's literally a doomsday device, and I like that.
Yeah. I have a theory. We'll get into that later on, but what I enjoyed most about this episode was with the very thing you guys are talking about now, and that's the mysterious weapon that's been placed on the ship. And there are some... You're back and forth with it?
I'm all over the place.
You're like in a puddle.
There is a reason behind it if you wanted me to really tell you what's going on.
I mean, I think there's going to be a connection to another show that we all know and, have split feelings for, I guess is safe to say. But we'll see when we get there. Let us get into the episode summary.
Oh, where are we? Episode summary.
Sullivan! Star Trek Prodigy. Excuse me.
Prosody, what?
Star Trek.
Did I get that logo wrong?
No, you're good. Season 1,
right
episode 12.
Okay,
yes, we're good. We're Sleeping Borg Lie. When the crew encounters a dormant Borg cube, Zero risks everything to save their ship.
I gotta say, every time I see a picture of the Protostar, the only thought that goes through my mind is that is such a pretty ship.
It is. It
just
makes an
cool.
amazing silhouette, doesn't it?
It does, and
It does. It really does. And when I
it
really
brings it's like all the great things about the Sovereign and the Voyager
right.
and the Enterprise A and even the Kelvin Enterprise just all mashed together, and it shouldn't work, and yet it does. And
Right.
I love the Protostar so much.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is they got the nacelle size right. They're good, nice,
Yes.
beefy nacelles. It's good stuff.
Hey, look, guys, before we go ahead, I'm pretty distracted about something. I don't know if you guys know this, but we kind of lost our dog a few hours ago. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. My son's actually trying to find him now down by the beach.
Oh.
I'll just show you a clip of where he's doing.
Pip it! Pip it! Pip it! Come on! Pip it! Come on, Pip it! Pip it!
I just hope we find him. That's all.
Anyway,
Anyway, sorry, go on.
hoping for the best.
Yeah.
You're a sick man.
That was great. I just want to let you know, Chase, that's by far one of my favorite movies of all time. And I was literally driving one of my friends home, and I was doing a K-turn, and this person had the movie playing on their giant TV, and I stopped, turned my lights off just to watch a couple of minutes of it because it's such a great film. Let us jump into pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Well, 0-0.
Yeah.
What are your pros and cons?
Okay, so I've already talked about how the Borg were defanged in this episode, and yes, it is a show for kids. However, I find it very strange that even though they defanged the Borg, they made the Borg sufficiently scary.
Yeah,
And I think that if Star Trek has been doing anything good over the last 20 years since the Borg showed up on Enterprise, it's that the Borg are getting scary again. And I really like that. So I don't understand how they made the Borg simultaneously super scary and super wimpy at the same time.
yeah.
But that being said, there were some phenomenal sequences in this episode. And the one I was most taken with was whenever Gwen's by herself in the cube, and there's this whole like troop of Borg walking by, and hologram Janeway tells her, "Don't be a threat." "What about my weapon?" "Just trust me, don't be a threat." And she has to walk through them. And I don't know, just the lack of music, just the sound effects, just walking through all of these Borg. I just thought that was so well done, and it was super creepy. I also have to give a huge, I got to call attention to a scene whenever they first encounter the Borg cube, whenever they're all standing on the bridge. There's a shot outside of the bridge looking at looking from the front of the Protostar to the back. You can see the nacelles in the back, and you can see the entire crew standing on the bridge. And I just thought that was the coolest shot. This series, say what you will about the Kelvin reboot movies, Prodigy takes a lot visually from those movies. And I think it's a very interesting concept that it's a television series set in the Prime universe, and yet it takes so many visual and auditory cues. I mean, that main theme, that dun 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 dun, has played at least twice during the second half of this season. And so there's so much Kelvin in this series that it's enjoyable, and yet at the same time it's comforting because it's in the Prime universe, and we got Janeway and Chakotay and all of our old favorites.
It's the same composer, Giacomo, Michael Giacomo, that did the theme for Prodigy.
Yeah,
theme for
that. I was just saying, that's why you got an amazing theme.
There. It is. Yeah. It is. I was actually shocked to find out, because that's a director you would think. That's a composer you think. Oh, he does all the big Hollywood stuff. But no, it's great to see they got him for this show.
Yes,
I love hearing the theme every episode.
Yes, it is such a beautifully realized theme too. Just the ship just flying through all these representations of the characters. I love that so much.
So is it safe to say that you like the Kelvin timeline movies?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I enjoy them for what they are. Love them or hate them, I do believe they're the reason why Star Trek is around today. They're the reason why we have Picard and Discovery and Strange New Worlds and Prodigy and Lower Decks. If it was not for the Kelvin movies, we would not have all the goodness we have right now. And I think that Star Trek 09 was a fabulous movie. Yep. Into Darkness, not so much. but Beyond was fantastic, and it was the
Yes.
best of the three in my opinion.
Yes.
Wow, I thought the
Okay,
first
I
one was the
absolutely
best one.
agree with Beyond. Beyond felt like the most harken back to the originals in the way of it was an episode. You know, it had a great villain, simple plot. I can't believe that Beastie Boys song, which I hated from the start, actually worked as a really good plot function in the
Yeah.
third one.
Yeah,
If they-
Absolutely
if
necessary.
If they ever do Star Trek 4 or whatever number we're up to
Yeah.
now, I really want Jayla back. She was so much fun in that movie. Just
Yeah.
I like the screams and the shouting. Yes, me too.
All right, so Ricebine, what'd you think? What are your pros
Look,
and cons?
yeah, a lot of the pros are actually the same pros that I've been having with the show recently. It's just, look, it's really setting a high bar. I'm always struck at how they are. This is supposed to be a kid's show. It has Nickelodeon on it.
Mm-hmm.
They are playing this as real and as straight as they would for any Star Trek show. They're not dumbing it down. They're not trying to give us simplistic characters and spoon feed us, really simple moralistic stories. I think it's complex. I think some of the younger kids may struggle a little bit with it, but the character designs and the fun and the energy of the show would probably keep them engaged. It continues to be really, really good. And the constant defining of the characters, we get to know a bit more about them all the time. I felt it was the same this week. Every week, I feel like I'm getting to know these characters that little bit better. Understand that you're falling in love with them just that little bit more. So, look, overall, the episode for myself, am I in love with the whole idea, the concept of the weapon? I don't know. But the rest of it was great. Like, I did like seeing the Borg being like different because it makes total sense, right? They simulate species who they feel can add to them. They are not all humanoid looking, are they?
No, that was what I really liked.
Yes.
The simulating aliens, they don't, yes. So I kind of dug that. It kind of said to me, I'd love to see that in a live. How would they pull that off in a live action sense? How would they do it?
Yeah.
Well, quite frankly, they can't. That's why I think Star Trek lends itself so much to animation. Ooh, Cosmic Mom is here.
Hey, Ma.
Hi.
We'll throw to the comments soon too. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
And
get there.
apparently, we can find my hot girls here.
I was seeing that. I was like, huh?
My goodness.
Wow. Well, we got some.
Okay.
I mean, we were at Jason's
looking forward to-
Bound. He's got to get the hot girls. You guys got to sit for it.
That's it. But besides that, yeah.
Hey, whenever they say you have hot singles in your area, that hot single is
It's
me.
you.
Yeah, look, let's throw up some pictures here, eh?
Yeah.
Well, can you
And
see
how
that, guys?
how well it looks great.
There we go.
The
You know,
light-
we always talk about Captain Pike's hair, but honestly,
yeah, his
Doll's
is-
hair makes his
yeah.
look. It makes it look like he's bald. I mean, look at that. That's a coif we can all appreciate right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the one, my pro this week was seeing Admiral Janeway really go onto the ship. Now they have the
she had to give up
plot.
coffee. I'm not impressed.
She had to give up coffee, man. That stuff.
Yeah,
They,
man.
hey, listen, in game, she was not drinking coffee, so it's continuity.
In continuity, I'll give you that
In
one.
continuity,
Yeah.
yes.
Did you realize that was Jason Alexander playing the
I
gentleman on the
did, and I have to say,
Wow.
I have to say, I didn't like his character.
No.
No, but he's a great.
It was
voice
a bit too
performer.
much. He's a great voice actor, but I did not like his character.
So what's the other plot? The almost small plot they had was Murph sick.
Yeah, and that wasn't really paid off, was it?
No.
No,
What?
they're setting things up for that clip that they showed not too long ago.
Mm.
The metamorphosis is coming.
Oh, metamorphosis.
And how about
Zero's
the
got an arm back. I
Yeah,
love
now Zero being a Borg, becoming the Borg.
that was a pro for me.
No, that was a bit of a con because I could see that one coming a mile away.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It
But
was
like,
telegraphed that that's what was going to happen.
yeah. It was really interesting.
I thought it was the idea of it. His character arc in that episode was handled quite well.
I liked Zero getting in the.
Because I
Borg
wasn't
suit.
convinced he'd come back. Like when
No.
he turned.
Yeah,
Like you want to talk about feeling like the Borg were a threat. When he turned,
yeah.
was
That would've-
really threatening.
I think he would have made the Borg a threat again because that
Mhm.
whatever Zero is, because they really haven't gotten into it, is an entity that is so powerful it makes people that look at it mad. Now imagine,
It's a Medusan from the original series.
oh, jeez,
Yeah.
and this is why he's
That's been solved. I need a banner to come across the screen that says solved.
solved. Jesus, 0-0 solves it. Wow. All right. Well, I still
You're
think
welcome.
that would have been an amazing threat to have.
But
Zero.
maybe the Borg have got like the taste of Medusan now, and they're like, hey, we can assimilate this, and maybe that'll be somebody else chasing the protostar.
Aye.
I mean, there's possibilities.
Absolutely.
And young people really seem to like the Borg.
Yeah.
Who was MVP of the episode?
Borg in this.
Who's MVP
Zero's
of the
been
episode?
the MVP of this show for a very long time.
Mm.
I think whenever Dal I keep saying her, and I know it's not a her. I think that isn't Zero non-binary, but goes by he, him pronouns. Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah. But whenever Dal picks up Zero at one point and uses Zero as a phaser, and Zero's going, I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy to help. I've loved Zero ever since. I love that character. I want more of that character. It's the MVP of the show.
How about you, Cap?
Characters that are MVP. I think
This week, just this week. Who
just
was
this
the
week.
MVP?
I think the Rock character,
Dwayne,
was
Dwayne the
MVP.
Rock Johnson was in this episode.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, we got special
he
pieces.
played the Borg cube.
yeah. He
Better
changed it
performance,
up.
Black Adam. Oh, that's
Yes.
Oh,
Way
Nick,
more personality than he
Nick.
showed in Black Adam. I will say that. I'm happy. I'm
All right.
sad. I'm devastated.
Zero.
I'm
Can
angry.
you throw to the comments and maybe see what peeps out there are saying?
Oh, that's my job, isn't it?
Yeah, that is your job.
Okay,
Zero
let's see.
is having problem computing.
There's nothing wrong with me. Let's see. Here we go.
Here we go. I'm a
Space
hot
Mom
single,
getting a little
yikes.
softy.
Oh, absolutely.
Rock Tana, by the way. That's what I was thinking of.
All right. Well, here we go. Prestige Media Group believes Admiral Janeway was kind of a con for you.
for me.
Yes.
Why?
Let's see.
I like that.
Hollow Janeway. I like Admiral Jane. Hollow Janeway. I like Admiral Janeway is kind of dumb.
That's because they have her following the villain, and she doesn't know it's a villain yet. So it's probably giving you like, why didn't you pick that up? You're Janeway. You should know. Oh, this guy's an asshole. Like,
let's leave the guy who's clearly a baddie unguarded in sickbay. See, that's the thing. She doesn't know
doesn't
he's
know.
a baddie.
Right.
He's this old man on a table saying they took my daughter.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Janeway's going to
Gonna
be like,
take it on
what?
face value.
Yeah.
She's going to have Harry Kim flashbacks. No one touches my Harry. And she's going to go after him.
And the other thing about the different topic, could one of you explain binary cis man or woman to me?
That would be for a very special episode of Captain's Quadrant.
Yeah, that's
Probably not appropriate for tonight.
No. I'll DM you, Ma. I'll give you a call later. We'll have
Yeah,
the
give
old,
me a
we'll have the
call
old
later.
birds and bees and he's and she's talk, you know.
I don't want to get something wrong and get canceled.
Yes, rather not.
That would be me.
Rather not. I'm
Same.
taking a risk just wearing the shirt tonight. I don't want to take any more.
And my hot girl's here. Wow, I thought you were joking.
Really?
What are you talking about? And then now I see it. Unbelievable. The other big pro for me, I don't know if you guys was Rock when she started like, all right, the phasers aren't working. All right, the swords aren't working, so I will punch the Borg, and it worked. So I thought that was really cool. It was like simplistic things kind of
She's adorable. There's no doubt.
Yeah, Rock's is one of my favorites.
I was a huge fan of Peter David's New Frontier movies where the Brickar were actually introduced. And there's a character on there named Zach Cabron, who's the security officer / counselor.
Security officer.
I was expecting more of a reaction.
Counselor. I was processing that. I was stuck in space.
He starts out as the security officer, and then he gets in touch with his feelings, and he decides to take remote courses, and he becomes a certified counselor. So whenever he's not blowing people up, he's putting them back together mentally.
Nice.
But
I love that idea
like,
that he hurt somebody and then he counsels 6 months. As
it's such a great character, but I love how but Rocktar is just completely just the opposite of Zach Cabron, because Zach Cabron is just, I will, if you mess with me, I will turn you into a bloody smear on my fist. And Rock Talk is she's just a little girl, but she's smart. And I like that.
Very
And
smart.
she tries to use her brains before she uses her bronze.
What was that beautiful montage she was in late season?
Oh, that was the one where she was stuck in time.
Had to go through time and learn skills.
And see, from the book, which I don't know how much the series is following the lore of the books. The Brakar are very long lived. So even though Roktar may have the body and the mentality of an 8-year-old, she may be like 40 or 50.
Oh, it's like the child from Star Wars.
The character of Zach Cabron, who I was talking about, whenever he came into his feelings, it was because he went through puberty. And he was like 50 or 60.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Can you imagine you're just now going through puberty, guys? Like,
oh my gosh.
All right, let's hop into. Are we breaking away for a commercial, Jace?
No, we're going to run straight through this week.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's hop right. Time. Yes, 10 forward. Comments time.
This is terrible.
I like it.
All right. Which one of you guys know what they were drinking? Do you remember?
I don't remember. No, I don't even remember that episode, to be honest, which is unusual for me because
what were they drinking?
I believe it's prune juice.
It is. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Worf loves it.
Loves prune juice. I like it.
That's a running gag. Isn't
it?
It's
a running gag on Star Trek. Yeah.
His bowels must have been clean as a whistle. You're walking down the hallway of the Enterprise. You just hear this howl come from his quarters. That Klingon death. And then the smell hits you like a fist to the face.
Oh my god! Yeah, Prestige Media got it.
If I saw Worf for the coffee in the morning, mate, I'd be running the other way because you know it's coming, don't you?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's putting that coffee down and straight to the toilet.
I just want to give a special shout out to Prestige Media for walking my mom through the terms cis woman and stuff like that. So thumbs up.
Oh, right. Okay. There you go. What a community.
What a guy.
We're helping each other. That's wonderful.
A community. I like
wonderful. That. I feel like I should be playing that now. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Boo, 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 boo. That's it.
And now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Yeah. And the other half.
I don't have that. I've only got this bit. Doesn't seem appropriate.
Jason's face. Zero's like, no, not at all.
Not at all.
Look, I mean, that hot women guy, that's definitely
it's I don't know, so far.
I gotta go to the comments. Hold on.
Yes, this is
okay, go to the comments.
Massive. I'm assuming Klingon
turds. Klingon turds are massive. I would assume
your mom is awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you guys want to talk about special of this show? I've got one thing.
Look, I mean, overall, it looks like it's prepping to be an awesome season. It really does.
They're definitely throwing a lot of plot balls into the air. Yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this show is the mainstay villain, and he happens to be voiced by his name is John Noble, right?
Yes, the Steward of Gondor.
The Steward of Gondor.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I love the fact that even Dahl at one point fanboys over his voice, and he's just like, "Oh, even the way that he says this is so great."
Yeah.
How much fun that is. So
the rule of Gondor is mine and no others. Like the way
he's eating
what was he
eating?
I can't eat tomatoes anymore because of that. I was watching that in the theater just going, oh God. Oh.
He's so cool, man.
Yeah, well, cool. I'd love to know, what I should have done the research about is how this is performing for Paramount as a show.
That's a good question. I think it's doing well because it got another half, like
got a nomination for an award coming up.
And it got an award and a nomination. And I live in the Eastern Corridor of the United States, and then we have one of the largest malls that just got put up, and they have a big Prodigy billboard there. So that I saw the other day. So I'm assuming it's doing pretty well. And they have Nickelodeon Land in the mall, and there's a whole like Prodigy section. So it's got to be doing pretty well if they're putting all that in there.
Like I said, I don't know if this show is aimed at kids. Like, it's awesome that it is for kids, and it's great that that's how we market it. But I don't think the writers are sitting in the writing room going, all right, we're going to make sure the kids understand it. Like, I just feel like they're just writing Star Trek episodes, like animated Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
Well, they're a bit more freer, aren't they, conceptually, when it comes to aliens and, you know, where they can take you within the Star Trek.
Here's some figures I just came up with right here.
Okay. Awesome. Stats
on a 30-day average basis, TV demand for Star Trek Prodigy has jumped 13.9%. It is rated at a percentile rank of 92.5, meaning it has a higher demand than 92.5 of all action and adventure titles in the United States.
That's incredible.
And,
wow.
That's pretty good.
That's insane. That's great. So this will be here for the long haul. This will definitely get a 7 season.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Like if it's being respected. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know what they kind of, because that seems to be where all the simpletons get their data from. But I'd be curious to see what it says on there. Because I go there myself. What can I say? I now have a lot of disdain for either side of it, but I'm always still curious nonetheless. But yeah, looks like it's going to be a show that's going to be for a long time.
Ooh, okay, so in your Rotten Tomatoes, I'm going to pull it up here because we have that type of technology where we can real time throw. Here we go. Booting it up. If I should have brought my glasses. I'm sorry, I don't have my glass. I got to squint everywhere.
This is captivating, by the way.
Everywhere. I gotta really.
All right, okay.
Here we go. 94% fresh by the critics and 72% fresh. Well received by the audience. So this, I think,
the audience score though is usually trash.
Yeah. Because you're gonna have your fanboy haters hate on it. Just gonna hate on it.
Yeah.
So that's actually an excellent score.
I think it's great, especially since
and I feel like I'm actually in sync with the critics for a change.
Same
in regards to it, because that's fantastic. I believe I've not read one review on the show.
Yeah, Prodigy to me is great because it really has gone in a direction that no other series has gone before. There's to have a crew of no Federation members, no humans.
Yeah.
And just have them be so far removed from the Federation and yet trying to get there. I really enjoy that. I think that it's a great break from everything else.
Yeah, and it's fascinating how they're putting, like, that crew is idolizing almost, putting it on a pedestal, Starfleet. It's all about Starfleet. And I hope the show, because it feels like it'll go that way, will deal with the ultimate disappointment they will have with Starfleet.
Imagine they do a Monty Python, the last episode, everybody gets arrested.
Yeah, no, but just in the concept, they're making them almost seem like Starfleet's a deity of some sort, idolizing it.
Well,
and
that wasn't until the one Starfleet dude left him to die.
Yeah, that
had to have been a bit.
Yeah, that's kind of was thrown away though, wasn't it?
I was happy whenever Janeway showed up and they were like, "There's no survivors." I'm like, "Yes, he died. Good."
Oh, you mean for Chakotay?
No, the guy last week.
At the station.
The
Denobulan dude.
Dropped those
Rudy Giuliani.
Dahl is a member of the Federation. Oh, actually, I think you've got your Prestige Media. You got your character swap. Dahl is not a Tellarite. It's Jankum Pog who's the Tellarite.
Correct.
Yeah.
And can I just talk about Jason Mazzucas real quick?
Awesome.
How does he not make Pog annoying? Because Jankum Pog to me should be the most annoying character on the show, and yet he's not.
I think he's written annoying, and Jason's that talented.
I think
he
so.
Makes it because he adds his own little bits into it. There was a scene in that episode where he's going to try to, get his tools out. Jankum will fix it, and he's going, "Does anyone see like any buttons or a keyboard?" And then just the camera's starting to pay away because I'm really starting to freak out here. And that's a Manzukis, because I'm a big fan of Jason Manzukis.
Oh, me too.
That's
He's got such a
definitely-
distinctive voice. I just
Yeah,
love
he
it.
has those little isms, like those
Mhm.
Manzukisms. And that was definitely one of them. And that's why the character works so well. You're right. I actually think if another actor tried to perform that, it
That
would
wouldn't
be
work.
it would be horrible. It would be
Yeah.
fingers down the blackboard.
Because he is. Jankum is written so cringy, and yet Mazukis makes
Yeah.
it all work. I really liked that scene on the holodeck whenever Janeway said, "This is impossible. If there was a weapon on the ship, I know it." Oh, just like you knew about this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this.
yeah.
And Janeway just kind of goes, touche.
I mean, in the beginning of the episode, he's like a coward. He sends everyone in first.
Yeah.
Jankum will go
Yeah,
last.
someone has to protect you. And then and when they walk ahead of him, he laughs.
Yeah.
He goes, ha! Like, it
You know,
works.
the thing- I just don't understand where his, the colloquialism of not using pronouns comes from. Because he's always Jankum Pog this and Jankum Pog that. We've never seen a
Oh, he's
Tellarite do
third
that.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it always third person? I don't get that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
I
just
would love
probably
to see
just
him
a
meet-
character fault. You know what I mean?
He needs to meet the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Why do you talk like that? What is your deal, kid?"
Yeah.
He's a lovable douchebag. As
Yeah.
He
a
is. Just
Yeah,
like
that's
all of
what he is.
Mazukas's characters, Jay on Big Mouth and
Yeah.
that. Oh gosh, it just that's Mazukas. He's
Yeah.
just the lovable douchebag.
Yeah, he's brilliant at it though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's quite well. That's quite well.
Yeah.
All right, let us move on to do we want to pull up some comments before we move to features?
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Please do see what
I-
the team is saying.
Prestige has a member has a theory about Dahl. Says his parents are probably admirals or something. So
Oh.
yes, both are Federation members. It is a possibility. I'm still sticking by my theory that Dahl is an Iconian, though.
I still think Dahl
Okay.
is a new type of Dominion's Jem'Hadar. I think they're going to make a
Perhaps.
yeah.
I'm just still jealous over his hair.
His hair is like I said, Captain Pike would be jealous of that hair. It's just-
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
They could have Star Trek needs to have a hair off. Because
Yeah,
it really
some people-
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you know
kinda
what?
want to know what the
All
little
the
tentacle on
bad
the back of
hair-
his head is for too.
Yeah, for all the
He's a
bad hair
Padawan.
that they've done.
Maybe
some
he's like an
exceptional-
Avatar alien. I don't know.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Were we saying Rise About Jason?
I don't know. It was a joke that I've kind of gone there. I
We,
said it. and
we,
now it's
we
just
ruined it.
me.
We ruined it. Just
Yeah,
like we
we
ruined
Rewind the
everything.
tape to figure it
Right.
out. Yeah,
Jacob
yeah.
Pog
But you know what it is
ruins everything.
time for? My favorite segment.
Future speculations?
Oh yeah, I suppose it's that.
Because I gotta go.
I ask you, Captain, what conclusion would you draw?
So for me, I don't know if this is. I'm gonna pull up. I'm hoping. Did you put up a picture of the weapon in the notes?
No, believe it or not, Trek Corp didn't actually. This is as close as I got to the,
Okay.
the weapon.
Yeah, because my
Is-
shot.
Yeah,
I'll send that
Jankum
picture
pointing.
back.
Yeah, he looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, cat's out of the bag. My theory is that the weapon is the part of the AI that Picard saw at the end of season 1. That when that portal opened up, and then that tentacle, because it looks like the same type of tentacle-y thing that was
Quite
in
possibly.
Picard season 1.
Is it
Oh,
possible?
is
What
it-
timeline? Well, how does the timeline fit with this? Because
well,
yeah,
Janeway's
this is-
Admiral, so
This is
If-
about
if
this is
15
before
years
Picard,
before?
isn't it?
no, this is after Picard.
No,
This is during
before.
Picard. This is
Hold
before?
up, hold
It'd
up.
have to be before. Has
You
to
think
be.
so?
Yeah.
What year does
Yeah, let's figure
Star
that shit out.
Trek.
We should know it.
Prodigy take
should know
place?
People are clicking off.
2383, so approximately 17 years before Picard.
Oh.
There you
So
go.
all right, well, it would still work though, because if you think about it,
No, yeah, it actually it works
Yeah.
for your argument even more.
yeah, even more so. Thank you.
Because it could
I mean,
evolve
we-
and grow, and there
We
you
could
go.
very well see live action Doll or live action Gwen show up on Picard. Maybe that would be kind of
Maybe
neat.
that'd be kind of dope.
That would
you
be
know.
cool. You know what?
Have
6
them
months
call
ago,
down
I
to
would've said,
engineering and say,
"No
"Engineering,
way."
we need power." Jacob Pog is trying to.
Mhm.
know.
6 months ago, I would have said no way that's possible. But
Now-
ever since that announcement for lower decks,
There we go. She was an admiral in first Nemesis, actually, but yes, Janeway was an
Yes.
admiral in Nemesis, so it
Yeah.
fits.
it fits definitely. It fits.
It
It
fits.
fits.
Captain Doves, Captain Doves, speculation fits. Guys, do you have anything?
Anyone? No, not really. I can tell you what next week's episode's going to be called.
Okay, we'll do that.
Let me find it. I believe it's called All the World's a Stage.
Yes. That's the episode with the fake Vulcans in it, I believe.
Isn't that Shakespearean?
Yes, all the world's a stage.
Oh, of course
and
it
man
is.
but an actor
Okay,
who stretches
and I've got
his
the
hour
synopsis
upon the
here.
stage and then is heard no more.
Wow, look at you.
Yes.
Wow.
Were you a theater major at some point?
Yes. I
There
was
you
a
go.
theater major. Yes.
Trek Core, which I've got to say, guys, I get all my images from. I love Trek Core. Thank you, Trek Core, for doing the amazing stuff that you do. And
Indeed.
But you guys have the summary of this week. For the coming show up on Thursday is the crew answers a distress call to find a colony trapped in Starfleet's past.
Interesting. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
I'm kind of thinking it looks a little bit like a comic book that was put out a few years ago where the crew of the Enterprise, or the Enterprise D, revisits the planet that was seen in a piece of the action. You remember the gangster planet? And instead of emulating the gangsters, now they're emulating 23rd century Federation.
Oh, right.
Because they're just a bunch of copycats with no culture. And so that was the vibes I got from the season trailer, was that, that's what's going on this planet, is people are emulating an old contact.
Absolutely. Because obviously with the title of the show inferring what it's inferring with that summary, I reckon you're onto something.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Well, go. All right.
I am. I'm very intelligent.
Well,
let's put 0-0 to test with my favorite segment.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. It's time for stupid Star Trek questions.
All right.
Okay. And stupid Star Trek question this week is, why does Starfleet keep changing their uniform so much? And unusually so.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
But we can talk about it again, because I have
really?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yes.
We
It's
must
been
have
several
done this
months
ago.
It was months ago. Yeah.
But I have
Damn
an
it.
amazing
I've got a list
theory.
here. I had a list that was sent to me and I picked it out of it. We'll come up with a different one. Should we just, can I play the, I'll play the intro?
Play the intro again. Play the intro again. Do it again.
Actually, I don't really have another one. Does anyone have one? All right. Okay. Maybe we can rephrase it, because we did talk about it before. But since we last time talked about it, we've had Prodigy now.
And they have new uniforms.
Right. And then you've got Picard, which is a slightly new uniform. You've got Lower Decks, who've had 2 uniforms.
Right.
The black one, actually 3, hasn't there been?
Yeah, they've got the Cerritos uniform, they've got the First Contact uniforms, and then they have the holodeck uniforms.
Yeah.
So the question now can be phrased: why is the current, up-to-date Star Trek, like the most current modern version, you could say, of theirs in the future, why are they accelerating their Star Trek, changing the Star Trek uniform?
Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Well, absolutely.
The uniforms. Prodigy the uniforms.
How would you justify that in writing? How would you try to go, well, this is the reason why? Is it because it's attached to a class of ship now? We talked about that once before as well. That was one of my theories.
Could it be because of the Prodigy's experimental ship, and they've got experimental uniforms?
Oh, so like uniforms, if you were doing a test pilot, you
would
wear these uniforms.
Yeah. Maybe they like fire resistant.
Someone else.
We've actually seen this before. Now, we haven't seen this much of it, but we've seen different uniforms all over the place. You got the drab olive vests that are on the star bases. You have the uniforms that are on the major ships. You have the jumpsuits, because remember, the jumpsuits were being worn at the same time that the regular uniforms were being used.
Right.
And you have all these different variations. We had different variations of admirals' uniforms throughout the entire run of TNG and DS9. I think we're just seeing more of the universe than we did before.
So here we go, and expanding on the question then, don't you think it's problematic for their mission? Starfleet being Starfleet, right? And they're going out and they're doing first contact, second contact, all that. And they're assuming that the other cultures will understand the fact that they know that they were all the same. I mean, what's to think that first contact they're wearing one type of uniform, next time they're wearing opposite, and the aliens are thinking these must be the evil version of these guys. Because that's happened in Star Trek where they've had a culture with just the different color sides of the faces, and so aliens are known to have to be very simplistic in detailing who's the good and bad guy. So my point is, their uniform is actually bad for exploration of space. Their policy of changing uniforms. You would think you would keep it consistent.
You would think, but like I said, merchandising.
Yeah, now you're breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, we all know why. Because Paramount need that money.
It's the same reason why
we need the money.
Deep Space Nine had different uniforms than Star Trek: The Next Generation. Why? Because whenever you turn the channel and you see that uniform, you know which show you're watching.
Oh yeah, 100%. Get all that.
And it's the same thing. You turn on Lower Decks, you're like, oh, there's the uniform. This is Lower Decks. Oh, there's Prodigy. There's those uniforms. There's Discovery. There's those uniforms. There's Picard, and they're in those uniforms.
It's just fascinating to surmise.
The same reason why Matt Groening made The Simpsons yellow. It's so you can instantaneously recognize which show you're watching. And I also stand by my theory that it's also a signpost for time travelers, so they know exactly where they are.
Yes, you don't have to do that before. Yeah.
So our good friend Prestige Media has some really good points. You want to pull some of those up?
Oh, yes, let's see. Okay. I don't think they change them that often. I think the uniforms are specific to the posting. See, that's what I think. I think that Starfleet has always had different uniforms, and we're only seeing a bigger universe now because we have, 5 spinoffs on the air at the same time?
Yeah.
So that's I agree.
Yep.
Remember when Deep Space Nine wore the black while the ships wore the TNG? Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I still think in theory you could confuse some aliens. I'm just saying.
They need to accommodate many species to an ever-growing alliance. Yes, because I don't think alien species who are deemed worthy for first contact would be that dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, here's our first contact package, and here's all of our uniforms. Oh my gosh, it's like the Sears catalog. Look at this.
Is this you want to be on a space station? You get your black and white.
The ship has the Speedos. Where do you keep the comm badge? Oh, that's where you keep the comm badge. Oh, dear Lord. We don't want to have any contact with you anymore. Please leave.
Well,
I'm sorry. That was the Delton ship.
Yeah.
Well, I think I kind of got away with that rehashing of a question we done months ago.
Yeah.
You seem to squeeze 5 minutes out of that. So next week,
way.
hopefully, I'll have some different
stupid
Star Trek.
Join us next week for more stupid Star Trek questions.
Or maybe or Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen,
same one on Thursday.
So our stupid question is, how do they change those uniforms, guys?
Well, hopefully, hey, look, hopefully at least let's check and see if my son's found our dog yet.
Pippet! Come on, Pippet!
Well, hopefully you'll find him eventually.
You know, if you ever think that the midterms aren't important, just remember that the mayor in Jaws 1 was also the mayor in Jaws 2.
Wow. Remember to vote. Remember to vote tomorrow, guys. Vote blue.
Please do.
Guys, we have some exciting news before we go.
Do we?
Yeah. We are moving our time slot permanently to Thursday, right after the show. The show that we're going to be talking about. So we will be Thursdays at 9 p.m. Right after you watch the episode, we will be fresh off of the series with everything that happens in our minds, like ready to go and talk about it. So we are moving up.
No more slacking.
No more slacking. We'll be
here. It's a great idea. This way we can, on the night while everyone's still thinking about it, boom, we'll be able to get stuck and hopefully get more of you guys on and interacting and telling me how insane we all are and all that.
Yeah. So make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you tell your family and
your enemies.
Remember to vote.
And remember to vote. Yeah. All right. Until next time, guys.
out of here. Well,
Nice.
end the broadcast.